Hey guys, my name is Mike Munzing with Munzing Mortgage Group, covering some issues that we're all facing out there in the market. I'll be right back with the details. All right, as you will see shortly, our market is interesting. Rents have been kind of flattening out a little bit. Some people are saying they're seeing a little bit of a trickle, maybe not in our market, but some markets. But that is not going to last. That has never lasted. And certainly overall, rents are going up. We've got a couple of clients right now, a couple of buyers who are on the fence debating, should we rent or should we buy? And I know a lot of you realtors out there are having that same issue. I've got a great rent versus buying flyer out there for you, something you can use. It's called Tired of Renting, and it really shows some of the benefits. Now, what really breaks it down when you show buying versus renting, not only is it the tax write-off for you, but it's also that principal reduction. Every month, I looked at a deal just the other day where the first payment, the very first payment, $632 in that first month, dropped off, and she was weighing out real close, renting versus buying. And $632 is going right back into principal. That's like putting money right back in your bank, back in that equity account. So that is a great way to go. Really break that down. That was before the income tax benefit. So that principal reduction is a critical part of the equation as well. Well, hey, that is a great flyer. You can find that on my website. Very handy over at www.mikemunzing.com. Brand new, newly redesigned. It was getting a little dated, so I worked out some new designs there. A whole new website I hit in the last couple of weeks, so check that out as well. But what I'm going to bring up now is Brian and Frank, a video from them from National Real Estate Post, and they do a great job, and they're breaking down just this issue of renting versus owning and how you might be able to take advantage of it in the market we have today.
So I saw this graph from the Census Bureau. I thought it was pretty cool. Check this out. Here's what rents in terms of the cost have done since 1950. What really trips me out about this is look at what rents did through the two big recessions. Now those recessions, those are the gray vertical bars. Check out what the rents did.
Yeah.
I mean, they just kept powering on through. I wouldn't have thought that.
So what?
They just kept going up because remember, when sales prices during the recessions are falling off a cliff going down, but rents, they just kept going up. It's interesting. It just really proves the point that even in a bad economy, I mean, people like to live indoors. That makes sense, right? I find this interesting because during the housing recession, obviously, those sales prices, they just dropped. But rents, check it out. Look at this. It's fascinating.
So what?
They actually kept going up the entire time of the recessions.
So what?
Now, you might think that's odd. I thought that was odd, but it's not. It's
Okay.
really not odd, Frank.
All right.
It makes perfect sense. Understand, during the recessions, when all those homeowners got foreclosed on, remember that? And like we said, they still wanted to live indoors, so what did they do?
So what?
They moved over and became renters.
So what?
They created demand there. I'm gonna call this the great diaspora of homeowners moving over into the rental market. That's what happens during a recession. The recession created a robust rental market, hence rents went up, more demand.
So what?
Foreclosed bodies wanna live indoors.
So what?
Well, I want to tell you, there's something in this, Frank, for real estate agents and lenders right now who are watching this and trying to prove their business.
Okay.
You have to understand what's happening in your market. Rents are actually dropping when a lot of people think they might be going up.
So what?
Listen to this. Stop, you're bugging me. Listen to this. According to new data from the Census Bureau, the nationwide median asking rent fell from $1,003 in the third quarter to $947 in the fourth quarter. That's a decrease of $56 in 3 short months.
So what?
The reason is, like I said, renters are moving back into home ownership because we've seen some of these house prices dropping a little bit.
So what?
The diaspora in reverse, renters moving back into home ownership.
So what?
That's what's pushing rents down in all the markets when we've seen them just go up. We have a temporary shift where rents are going down right now, and there might be a misconception, Frank, that people think the rents are gonna keep going down and rent, not buy a house, and that is foolhardy.
So what?
For realtors, to stay one step ahead of the game, you need to understand this. Lower rents will result in more potential buyers. The buyers who you want to work with thinking about renting, that's not good for you. It's not good for them either.
So what?
If they rent, see, there might be less demand on the purchase market and home values could skid as well. But I don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
So what?
It's important to stay one step ahead of the game. So for instance, rents are falling right now. They're coming down. So people are thinking, hey, rents are gonna come down. I'm not buying a house. Your potential buyers are going to become renters for all the wrong reasons. So you should go to them and say something like, oh, you should buy a house. You should buy a house right now, especially because rents are coming down. See, that seems counterintuitive. You understand that? With rents coming down, a realtor going over to somebody saying, oh, buy a house. In spite of the fact that your alternative is cheaper, you should probably buy a house. It's more important now than ever.
So what?
It's counterintuitive. It's gonna get people to perk up their little old ears.
Doesn't matter.
See, cheaper rents is easy, and I'm telling realtors and lenders to tell these people to take the more expensive route.
Doesn't matter.
It's gonna catch people's attention. And then the realtor or lender could use that catching their attention as a segue into a larger conversation about how rents always go up even if they're coming down now.
Doesn't matter.
Even in the darndest times, like the global housing crisis that we all remember, rents just kept on going up when you least expected it. So don't be caught off guard by rents going down right now. Buying is still a better alternative. See, the idea, Frank, the idea is to get a buyer thinking in earnest about their housing expense, what's in it for them, and the decision that they need to make about said housing expense. See, there's no better way to have this conversation as an icebreaker, or if you're looking for conversational items to talk about with people, than to give that prospective buyer, who's thinking about renting, that prospective buyer information that makes perfect sense and yet is counterintuitive.
Okay.
Boy, that might get me thinking. It's a snap to attention moment for a salesperson, a realtor or lender. So now agents and lenders in their market right now can go to those prospective buyers out there, because we're always looking for content. What do we say?
Sure, yeah.
And you could go, via social media or blogging or emails or videos or calling people. And you can do this, have this conversation that I'm laying out for you right now in just a few short seconds, and you're really making a marketing timepiece. It's very time sensitive and it's relevant information to what's going on right now.
All that work, I guess.
Rents are down. That's why you're gonna not do that, right? That's a great talking point.
So what?
The conversation, just write this, some form of social media, some form of talking, calling, email, it doesn't matter. Hey, even in a market where rents are going down, it's probably even a better time to buy. It's such a great talking point. And then you could always back up your point with this graph. Check it out. Just look at this graph. It's proof from the Census Bureau that even in a bad market, rents, they always, if they do one thing, they just go up, so buy. Don't be fooled with this quick rent dip. It's all just an illusion. That's a great talking point, right? And it's easy and it doesn't cost you any money or time. You understand this, Frank, as a salesperson. You're going to pay for it in the long run if you rent. It's a great message. I've got a better solution. Buy a house. That's what a realtor and a lender need to do right now.
See, that was that report I was talking about where rents are dipping, certainly not in the Orange County market, but an interesting video, an interesting take, certainly something that you should be aware of in that marketplace when you're out there talking to buyers. Well, hey, you can call me anytime I'm out working. I'll be working this weekend over at 949-689-5626. Love working with you, love helping your buyers. We've got all the programs, conforming, jumbo, Fannie, Freddie, whatever, FHA, VA, even these new non-QM bank statement loans so we can get our self-employed buyers back into those homes. We had a lull there for a number of years. But give me a call. I'll be working. Loved working with you. And God bless you. God bless your family. God bless this beautiful country. Should be a great weekend. Maybe a little rainy. We never know these days. But I'm here for you. I'm looking forward to working with you. Bye-bye.